it's plain to see. I wanna be famous. I wanna live close to the sun. Oh, pack your bags, cause I've already won. Everything to prove, nothing in my way. I'll get there one day. Cause I wanna be famous. Na 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 na. I wanna be famous. I wanna be famous.
Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to the first episode in our Total Drama Spotlight series.
Total Drama is a well-known and loved franchise from Canada. The series is a spoof of popular American game shows like Survivor, Fear Factor, and The Amazing Race.
Every season there's a cast of teenage contestants who are all parodies of high school movie stereotypes who compete in crazy and outrageous challenges every week set up by the show's host, Chris McLean. The goal is to make it to the final two at the end of the season without being eliminated or voted out. The grand prize for the winner is $1 million.
Each season has a different theme, title, and location, and eventually different contestants. Today we're talking about the season that started it all,
Total Drama Island! I wanna be famous.
And I'm glad they never took out that song for the series because it just fits so well, especially all the visuals you see. And growing up, this was one of those shows for Cartoon Network that brought in a lot of ratings. Even so much when they had a promotional theme, they pretty much told you in the song that it topped ratings every week it came on. It was the most popular show of the week above Ben 10 and Batman and Secret Saturdays. That was the highlight of the week, watching Total Drama every week.
Awesome. I love this show. I remember when you first showed me this particular series and I saw the first episode. And to this day, you still laugh and tell me my first reaction you thought was hilarious. But it's what I thought. And I loved it. And it was more fun and human than watching the actual competition shows. Is just better.
That was the craziest part, because there was a point after we finished watching Total Drama, probably sometime last year, we went and watched Survivor, which has started its new season. So we finally got to watch and see, okay, this is where the inspiration for Total Drama came from. And then we watched it, first episode or two, and eventually Mama said, "This is boring." I'm like, boring? Where do you think this Total Drama came from? There had to be something crazy about this show for them to get all these crazy people from that. And then the same thing happened with The Amazing Race, which they got Redonkulous Race from. We watched the first episode, and Mama once again was bored. She'd rather see the crazy animated one than the actual one is based off of, and that's a rarity sometimes.
So we're going to talk about, as you said, the one that started all, Total Drama Island. And what was the first comment I made when you showed me this?
After she watched the, halfway through the episode, she said, "Everyone that came there's something wrong with them." Like, that's the point. The whole stereotypes of what you see in the high school movies, like the jock and the mean girl, the dumb blonde, and the sassy one, are all these stereotypes. But even then, this is the first time the stereotypes had depth.
Yes.
So they weren't just the one-dimensional thing there. They all had to bounce off each other, which was hilarious to see how all these different characters would interact if you put them in a camp together.
And I do believe this is the first show that made fun of homeschoolers and made fun of the goth people, and made fun of the ones who claim they've been to juvie. It made fun of everything and everyone, but it was in good fun. It wasn't. It was never insulting, and I love that about this franchise. It's never insulting. It's always hilarious, and you can see the humor, but at the same time, you can see the humanity in what they're trying to convey. So it's never insulting. If anybody watches any of these versions of this series and they're offended then they're just not getting the show, and they need to immediately stop watching and move to the nearest exit, because nothing about this series is insulting.
As far as I know, except for possibly Mike, who was introduced later, I don't think anyone ever complained about the characters. They did have an original, what was called Camp TV, and we saw these different designs of the characters. There were different hookups, and some of them had different personalities. And I saw from that prototype, there were a few complaints saying how some of the characters were, and it was overbearing. So it looks like when they did the finalized version with Total Drama, they toned it down enough to where you get what they're supposed to be, but there's still more than that. And then there's your character. And what's funny is you just waiting to see what's gonna come out of their mouth next. When you start watching this series, like, what are they gonna say next? You're looking forward to every line of dialogue, because everything they say is just comedy gold. And what the asinine things they'll say, and you're like, why'd you say that? What are you talking about? This person's a moron.
And I think this just points to the genius of the writers.
Yeah.
You have all these different characters, and there's not one character that seems like they're a copy or a ripoff of another character on the show.
Right.
Every single character is distinct and unique. And that just doesn't happen. You watch, and when you have a large cast like this, you can see similarities usually between characters. But not with Total Drama.
Right.
You don't see it.
And they're all inspired from characters from movies and shows, but they're not, as you say, blatant copies. Like, Heather was actually based off Heathers, the movie.
Which I have seen.
And that's where that would come. It was the whole character was a reference to that movie because of her attitude and thing. Only she couldn't go as dark as the movie, but it was a comedy,
dark.
And it's also a combination of that and Mean Girls, and they just had so many creative characters, and each one had their own little running gag within the show, like they'll have a line, the catchphrase they say, or a certain thing they'll do, and of course you have your typical character, which was headed for the season, that started an alliance and tried to move away up to the end of the season.
Okay, for those who aren't familiar with Total Drama Island, just tell what the premise is for this first season.
Okay, well, we kind of did, but I will go ahead, but that's the whole series. Okay, so for the first season, 22 teenagers are sent to Camp Wawanakwa, and they think they're going on some summer vacation or summer island, and it turns out they're actually on a TV show, and they're forced to participate, because a few of them wanted to leave, like Gwen, and she tore up the contract and said, you know the great thing about lawyers? They make lots of copies, so they were all forced to participate in this for 8 weeks, which was more like 22 for reality, because it came on every week.
Right.
And then they had two.
I love that for the first episode, each contestant arrived on this boat and got off.
Yeah.
And you got to be introduced to each one individually, which was brilliant.
Right.
That you got to see each one and, you know, their name.
Right.
And you could see their personality immediately.
Rather than all together like the reality shows where all the ones coming together and you have to see them every once in a while and take you the whole episode. But that was a good way to start out. So they are set. So most of the characters are split into two teams: the Screaming Gophers and the Killer Bass. And each week they have to participate in some weird challenge that Chris comes up with. And
Chris McClain is a psycho.
And he's supposed to be
a narcissistic psycho.
Right? And each week a challenge is made, and most of the time is summer camping. Like they have a talent show, sleep out in the woods. You have to stay awake for several nights. And
as the show progresses, they get more and more insane and crazy. The challenges just get to, what the heck? Are you really putting these kids through?
Yeah, like they just can't be legal, but no, they got their lawyers. But that did come up in the next season. Oh, man. And eventually, at the end of an episode of if a player loses, they're in danger of getting voted off, which, like Survivor, they just write down who they want voted off, and they put them in the thing, and then they tie up the votes. Each contestant who gets to stay another week gets a marshmallow, and then whoever leaves, Chris has to go through the thing every time. If you, without a marshmallow, you have to go to the dock of losers, get on the boat of shame, and you can never come back. ever. And every week someone would get voted off, and there were some instances where where they got off due to default, or something out of the show's control, or some people left, someone rigged, and each time it was different. And the great part about it is you took it seriously. You knew it was a parody of the reality shows, but these guys did so well in the research in watching, in watching the shows, asking people what they liked and disliked about them, that you could take it as its own reality show, the first ever animated reality show, and be just as into it as you would be in the actual one.
Absolutely. And they have some really just hilarious characters. As we mentioned, Chris McClain, and you were about to tell what he was based on.
Yes,
whom he was based
he's
on.
Based off the host of Survivor, but he's more of an edge to where he'll do more dangerous things to them.
And everything is about him. And somehow, no matter what happens, it's all about Chris McClain.
Right.
And the chef, oh my gosh, chef.
He's even
chef
bigger psycho.
Like, it looks like he's kind of based on Samuel L. Jackson. It really does. It does, because he's just in your face. He's crazy. And he's Chris's assistant. And he makes him do all the dirty work and the grunt work.
Yeah, one person does everything. And he makes all the food for them every week. And we got to a point where he got 3 episodes for them. One where they had to do like Fear Factor and eat all these disgusting foods in order to stay, and another one where Chris was gone for some reason and he took over and became Major Pain, and then the third one where he was forced to take care of the last couple contestants, and he just sent them off somewhere so you didn't have to deal with them and went through their stuff. But yeah, like I said, every character is just fantastically fun, and you just, like I said, you just want to listen to what they say because you're waiting for the next thing to come out of the mouth. Like, what are they gonna say now? What are they gonna say now? I want to see how these people react. And also, what makes them it's even funnier, we mentioned with the eliminations and the challenges. I almost forgot to mention the rewards. Sometimes it would be immunity where they could stay another week, and other times it would be like a vacation. You got prizes,
or they got to stay in a special trailer, where it was luxuries and they could take a bath. And
and actually were prizes they could enjoy, and they would and most of them get pissed when they did not win it. Oh my gosh!
Now I think for me, what really set this apart is, I've watched some of these reality shows, and you always sit and go, why is the person that's hated the most stays on the show? Well, they took this and milked it with Heather. I mean, Heather was the one that you kept going, she's going to leave this week. They're going to kick her off this week. Oh, after that, she's got to go. Heather didn't go. And it was like, you got to see that they were well aware that this is what the real series do. And they took it and they milked it, and it was hilarious how she would end up staying on the show no matter what she did. I love that about it, because it's like, yeah, this is what they really do in real life. But it was so much more hilarious and funny and amusing and this version than in the real one. You just like, I'm going to quit watching this crap. They're not getting rid of this person. But with Heather, you kept going, oh my gosh, they kept her another week. Oh, we got to watch. They got to get rid of her next week. And they never did. And it's the same thing with the contestants and the host. Because it's like, okay, we got to get rid of her this week. And no matter what, somehow she won immunity, or she stayed within the show's rules where she could stay on the show another week. Even to a point where she did something so bad. Even Chris said, when in one of the episodes, she read a diary to the entire world on TV. And even Chris said, that is reading another chick's diary on television? That is that is just really messed up, dude. This is wrong, but she followed the rules, and they had to let her stay on, and you're like, dang it. Okay, so now we've mentioned the one that people kept wanting to get off, most likely. Whom is your favorite character?
Okay, I think it would have to be Jeff, who's supposed to be the party animal parody teenager.
Yeah, dude.
And he was, and even up to a point, he was like probably the second nicest guy on there.
Yes.
Probably next to DJ or the owner, unless you piss one of them off. But Jeff didn't even get pissed off in the whole season. And he even tested with Gwen when they had one where they had to handcuff them for a challenge. And Gwen was, again, constantly annoyed because he was cool with everything that went on. He let her do it. And she's like, I don't know
he won
like
her
this.
over. That was the great thing. Yeah. Just being himself.
And he's like, you guys crazy. He's a nice guy. Why did you do that to him? It's like, that's the problem. He's too nice. You had to get rid of him. And it was just awesome how they did that. Every episode, I always enjoy seeing him because he just had the funniest lines on there. And my favorite would be when they went to the creek and something happened to his leg. He's oh my leg, I'm down. Why is that happening now? Why? And you would think he broke his leg or something, and everyone's panicking, freaking out. Then you finally saw he had like the minuscule splinter in his leg, and he was like, and they were taking this so seriously. You are horribly disfigured. You can't go on. He's got so much shot. Like, are you serious? I love that scene. Oh goodness. Okay, who's your favorite character on the show?
Okay, my favorite, and I know people come and go, are you serious? My favorite was Izzy. Izzy was just weird and crazy, and she even had her own special music. She was so crazy.
Yeah, that
and my favorite line was when she said, look into my eyes, and what do you say?
Wow, she's good.
And she would... And no matter what they did to her, she would come back. She disappeared, and she kept telling them, I'm being followed. I'm being followed. And they're like, she's crazy. And then you find out she wasn't crazy. She was being followed. And she was this gorgeous, pretty girl, but she was loony. Yeah. I loved Izzy. I'm sorry. Izzy was my favorite character. And that is my favorite line that she had.
Yeah.
But this is just such a great... a great franchise and a great show. So we're really glad that you've joined us for the first installment, and we hope that you join us for all the other installments going down memory lane. If you've watched this show, and if you haven't, then we hope we'll inspire you to go on Netflix and take a look at the show.
Yes, and we won't reveal who the winner is
for any season.
Right. If you want to see the show, you can watch it on Netflix. It's available except for season 3 for some reason, plus Redonkulous Race. You can watch them on YouTube or even watch some clips on Cartoon Network if the file is still there.
And the first season is actually available for purchase. We own it.
Yes.
But from what I understand, it's the only one that's still available.
Yeah, the other seasons are in like other parts of the world, just not here, which I found that strange.
Right.
But yes, if you haven't seen this show, go watch it. You will not be disappointed. It is just like the perfect parody and homage to American reality shows.
Yes.
And it's in itself an iconic show in animation history for being the first of its kind.
And it's very ironic that it's spun by Canadians, eh?
Right?
So thank you, Canada. You've given us something that we love. And join us for the next installment,
which is Total Drama Action.
So that's it for now.
Yeah, I'm Rascal Entertainment.
And I'm Mama Entertainments.
Have a toontastic day.
Peace.
And reporters sitting, flashing lights, trying to walk around, man, who the hell are you? What you wanna do? Well, man, it's on you. Man, it's on you. Hit her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket. Give it to you later on in the form of a locket. People in the back, for the people in the front. For the people on the side, for the people on the front. For the people in the middle or the alley, want to bump and everybody.